Don, you must have tons of stories from Happy Days.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many of them. I think the thing that, to pick one is almost impossible, but the thing that kind of stands out in a more general way is it was an incredibly fervent, creative time for us when we switched from the one-camera shooting approach to the three-camera show in front of an audience. And, you know, it was a big transition for the show, but we would have these incredible sessions. I think that's Fonzie calling. So we have these sessions, you know, after the third day of rehearsal, and we'd get with all the writers to give us notes. So you'd have Gary Marshall and Jerry Paris, who was our director, who was a genius as well, I think. And Lowell Gans was one of the head writers, and I think you know Lowell Gans and Bob Mandel. They wrote movies, you know, from League of Their Own and Parenthood and on and on and on. So we had these kind of people, and then, you know, a great Henry and Ron, and, you know, great talent. And these note sessions would be incredible, and, you know, and it was that time when the show was really blossoming. So I have really fond memories of that. And, you know, just all the backstage stuff with Jerry and Ron and the guys. And then I had an incident similar to what Peter was describing with Sammy that really stood out for me. Back around 1975, 76, when we were shooting at Paramount, they were shooting Chinatown, right down the, you know, one of the stages right nearby, and I was a huge Jack Nicholson fan. I mean, he was like God to me. And they were, you know, I'd seen him in 5 Easy Pieces, which I thought he was brilliant, and then of course, yeah, great movie. And then of course, Carnal Knowledge and a few, The Last Detail, and then they're shooting Chinatown, and it was a closed set, but I was in wardrobe from the 50s. So I just said, I'm going. So I walk in, and people are looking at me, but I'm in like wardrobe, so that I think they figured I belonged, even though I was the 40s. So I just wandered in, and then I look, and I see Roman Polanski and Jack Nicholson, and I'm like, my mouth is open, I can't move. And I want to talk to Jack so bad, and they break, and he walks right by me, and he's like looking at me, and he's like sensing me, I know it. And I go, oh God, I couldn't move, you know, I was like paralyzed. And then I'd say, okay, I guess that's it. So I walk around, I'm like just walking around and figuring, you know, looking at the back of the set, and all of a sudden a door opens and there's Jack, and he's looking at me, and I couldn't speak. But he comes over and he starts talking to me, and he was great. And we spoke about acting for like 20 minutes, and I went back to talk to Ron. I was like in heaven. I mean, so it was a really, really special moment for me. And finally, the last one, because I do see, my final moment is I actually met the woman who I married. She did an episode of Happy Days. So I see her sitting back there. So that had to have been that was a very special moment. So we started dating, and we got married 2 years later.
I've got a story that's better than that. That's the most romantic thing. And there are so many, and God, I mean, Scott was just ridiculous. You know, I feel lame just saying that over and over again, but I'm getting into the stories, and I'm not thinking about that. There's just too many things.
That's all right, you don't have to.
No, I know, I feel bad, because you know what's going to happen? I'm going to leave here, and then I'm going to say, oh my God, that was so funny, I should have told that story about it. There was one, I mean, there was one where you guys had it viewing in the room yesterday. There was one episode where, you know, I was very, very, very innocent and clean cut, and tried, you know, I never swore or did anything like that, and there's this one line where I'm talking to Scott, and I say, no, you're supposed to make the chocolate fudge cake. And I went, chocolate fudge cake, like chocolate fudge cake, you know, something like, somehow said the F-U-C-K kind of cake word, and Scott stopped the show and said, oh my God, we had a big audience back then, they don't have those anymore really. Oh my God, did you hear what she said? Jeff, and he yells to the top, my dad was in the very back of the audience, Jeff Davis, where are you? I was so scared, I thought I was getting in trouble, I'm like, oh my God, what? He said, "Did you hear what she said?" I said, "I didn't say anything, oh no." And I was blushing once again and so embarrassed. The whole audience was laughing. And that was one thing. And another one was also, we had another one where we were all dressed up as characters. And my character was Scarlett O'Hara, so I did a southern accent. And so I was supposed to come down the stairs and say something. And I came down, and the little boy stepped on my brother, stepped on my dress, and in the middle of my line, I went, "Woo!" But I still kept my southern accent. It was this huge skirt. They have, what's that called? A hoop kind of skirt, sort of, but I was Scarlett O'Hara. And I kept my southern accent. I said, "I'm falling," and I fell straight back, and it was just got a huge laugh. But obviously, they kept it. But there were lots and lots and lots of funny ones like that. You have to see that.